Start at 10.
A little bit up, probably.
I still be in performance. All right. You ready? Got it? You ready? Start?
No, this is at 9. Right there at 9.
The point is at 12.
Yeah, yeah, but you can go
all
from
right.
9.
Shit, we can start all the way from the top.
Now we start off at 9. All right. Shalom, shalom. I'd like to start off by saying, Barakatah Yahawah, Barakatah Yahawashi, Kol Haloyim La Yahawah, Bahashem Yahawashi, Bahashem Rakabadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, rule well. Blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect that's scattered abroad. Akim and the Aquat that's listening in. Yahweh Ratazal, Lord willing, that the lesson is edifying. This is Brother Shabbat Mumwan back at you, Brother Kasad. All right, and we're going to go into a little lesson on spiritual power, right? Spirit. We're on the way back to home. It's going to take us about 30 minutes, 35. All right, so we figure we do a video. All right, but, just thinking about how we're going to have the spiritual powers in the kingdom, what made me lead to it was me and the brother was talking about the kingdom, and from there I just started thinking about all types of different things. Right, but again, the time comes that the time is coming where the Lord is going to rise up his men with spiritual power, man, to show the power of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Right? There's no way around it. People always laugh when we say things like that because they can't believe things like that. But let's just say if it wasn't true, it's not far-fetched. Right. Because look at all the shit that's going on in the society today that we can't even put and wrap our heads around it. All right. On the left hand side, on the wicked side. So if there's wickedness that's being pushed out like that, what makes you think that the Lord's not going to have a righteous power, a righteous side to be able to show his righteous power?
Yeah, because everything that's happening, even though all the wickedness, all the shit that's happening in the world today, even though it's wickedness, that itself is of the Lord.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So what makes you think that he's not going to have a righteous, like you said, like a righteous power, man? Of course, man, that's a balance.
Exactly. And like the brother said, the Lord is allowing all that wickedness. So all these demonic ass rituals and deities that are out there giving power on to the wicked, it's left hand power that's given of the Lord. So showing you that the Lord can give those powers. All right. But see, they're dealing with it on the wicked side. They're not doing nothing great with their powers. All right, other than using it on the left hand side and using it and mishandling it, basically. But the Lord's going to have the elect that's going to be able to handle that. This is why the Lord is dealing with a certain amount of people, because that's not meant for everybody, because not everybody that gets that power are they able to actually do something righteous with that power. All right, us being of the elect, we're righteously moving in the right mindset, right? And if we were to have superpowers, we're not about to run around the world just using superpowers for the hell of it.
Yeah.
You understand? We're going to use it righteously when it has to be done, when it has to be used. You know what I'm saying?
Whether it's for healing,
exactly,
protecting, all right, stuff like that, man.
That's right. But matter of fact, go ahead, bring out that scripture.
All right, so I got John 14:9. All right, Yahawashi saith unto him, have I been so long time with you, and yet hast thou not known me, Philip? He that has seen me has seen the Father. And how sayest thou then, show us the Father? Believest thou not that I am in the Father, and the Father in me? The words that I speak unto you, I speak not of myself, but the Father that dwelleth in me, he doeth the works.
And that was Yahawashi telling you. See, even Yahawashi, which created all things, said that he wasn't speaking of his own interpretation or anything, but of what the Father has given unto him through the Spirit, man. All right, showing that we have to, we have to walk and bring out the word in the way that the Lord has ordained it to be said. All right, and not coming out of our own understanding. But go ahead.
Yeah, because Yahawashi said all power is given unto him, but he still acknowledged the Father, that the Father is the one that gave him that power, man.
Right.
It's It's not his power, it's the Lord's power, man. That dwells inside of him, man. That power is not of himself, man, because the Lord is the power. He created everything, man. All right, he's the highest power. Nothing is more higher than the Heavenly Father, man. So everything starts with the Heavenly Father, man. All the power it drips down from him to the Messiah, man, to his son.
Right? And even onto the demons, because he controls both sides. So if the Lord wants to give left hand power to some demons, he's gonna do that. All right. Go ahead.
It says, believe me that I am in the Father and the Father in me, or else believe me for the very work's sake. Verily, verily, I say unto you, he that believeth on me, the works that I do shall he do also, and greater works than these shall he do, because I go unto my Father.
Ooh, see, because you can't do nothing unless you go through the Father, man. All right, and we can't get to the Father unless we go through YAHAWAH'S, his son. All right, grab real quick, John. I want to say the 10. Read that last part again. All right, verily, verily.
It says, John 14:12. Verily, verily, say unto you, he that believeth on me, the works that I do, he shall do also, and greater works than these shall he do.
Okay, yeah, that's what I wanted. Grab I want to say it's the last chapter of John. All right, because there were so many miracles that YAHAWAH did that they weren't able to be written in the book.
Right.
All right. So the point is that he said that he that comes to me and believeth on me, all right, shall do greater works than YAHAWAH. All right. Now, if YAHAWAH had all these miracles that weren't written in the book, all right, what makes you think that one of those weren't actually having spiritual powers of being able to throw, just for an example, throw a fireball or throw a ball of frost at somebody,
raise people from the dead?
Yeah, I was just gonna say that he was raising people from the dead,
and he said, right, we're gonna do greater things than that.
He was not only that, he was healing the blind, okay, those that couldn't hear. Oh, this thing, I don't want it to fall. I think it's good though. All right. So again, what makes you think? Did you got that? The last part? Yeah, go ahead.
All right, so this is John 21 and 24. This is the disciple which testifies of these things and wrote these things, and we know that his testimony is true. And there are also many other things which YAHAWAH did, the which if they should be written every one, I suppose that even the world itself could not contain the books that should be written. Amen.
So there's so many things that were done by YAHAWAH, miracles, all right, that weren't even written in this book. So you can't even picture what the book could really do, because it could be anything. Because imagine if it were written in the book, wouldn't be enough books to contain it, man. You talk about YAHAWAH turned water into wine, man. Yeah. Which is manipulating the elements. All right,
how you do that?
Exactly.
Bro? Like,
in order for you to manipulate elements, you're gonna have to have a spiritual power. Power. All right. As a matter of fact, grab that manipulating the elements. It's in Wisdom of Solomon.
Okay.
I believe it's the
I'm not sure what chapter.
Just go into Google and just put Wisdom of Solomon, and then put the elements, where it says he appeared on understanding the 7.
Oh yeah,
and it says right underneath the elements,
the 5 operations.
Yeah, it gave him the 5 operations. Yep. And able to manipulate elements. All right. How do you think Esau, the so-called white man, is able to manipulate elements here? He grabs CO2 and somehow mixes it with gas, and next thing you know, you could create flames. Yes, you having the intelligence of manipulating actual elements. That's where you get the periodic table in science from. All right, when you grab aluminum and and you mix it with barium. All right, what you got? You got elements being crossed, and now you have chemtrails in your air. All right, creating all types of diseases in the air, and our people going, gonna end up getting sick off of it. You got it?
Yeah, it says this is I think it's Sirach.
Yeah, it might be.
All right. Sirach 17:1.
Oh yeah, it is. Yep.
The Lord created man of the earth and turned him into it again. He gave them few days and a short time, and power also over the things therein.
Yeah, look, see, he gave power over the things therein. All right. If we had back in the day power and dominion over animals and things like that, why wouldn't we have dominion over the rest of the things of this world if the world was created for our sakes? All right. Just the simple fact that the earth was created for our sakes, already letting you know that this world is for us and we can do pretty much whatever we want in this world. It's just that at this time, we're not in a right state of mind. All right. We're just starting to learn of YAHAWAH'S Yahawashi in hopes that he saves us, man, to be able to experience these things, man. All right, go ahead.
The Lord created man of the earth and turned him into it again. He gave them few days and a short time, and power also over the things therein. He endued them with the strength by themselves and made them according to his image, and put the fear of man upon all flesh.
So stop right there. That right there alone. He said he made the man in his own image. All right. Because the Elohim was making the Israel in their image, basically. All right. These other nations ain't in the image of the angels or anything like that.
Right.
Now they have the image of a man like we do, but they're not that special people that is able to rule the earth or do whatever they want as they please on the earth. Okay. When they're in the righteous state of mind. Go ahead.
Yeah, because that image doesn't represent it's not talking about like how you look. It's talking about how you are it's talking about order.
Yeah.
It's talking about how, because we were made in the order, the image of like how the angels were in order. The angels were in order, and they put that order upon us by through the law, man.
And at the end of the day, it's the image of righteousness.
Yeah, that's what it is.
That is the image of righteousness, because everything in the heavens is righteous. Ain't nothing wicked up in the heavens, man. All right, everything is righteous. So when he made us in his image, he made us to perfection, like his image was. Okay, which YAHAWAH'S was perfect. You see, and if the Lord said that we're gonna do greater things than he did, and YAHAWAH'S is nothing to be compared to, you understand? That tells you a lot right there. That's speaking volumes right there, man. Go ahead.
All right, it says verse 4, and put the fear of man upon all flesh, and gave him dominion over beasts and fowls. They received the use of the 5 operations of the Lord, and in the 6th place he imparted them understanding, and in the 7th speech and interpreter of the cogitations thereof. Counsel and a tongue and eyes, ears, and a heart gave he them to understanding.
Did I pass? Did we pass that?
That's it. Yeah, that's it.
Hold on.
That's not what, I don't think that's what we was looking for.
Look, go in the last chapter of I think it might be in Wisdom of Solomon. All right, the last chapter of Wisdom of Solomon, where it says the sultry. Hold on, real quick. Let me see if I can find it while
Last chapter.
Yeah, it's like almost at the end, toward the end, like the 5th one up. She said the sounds of a sultry, and then they'll say elements in it. Give me 1 second. Slot here, brothers.
Yeah. Got it. All right. So it says, Wisdom of Solomon, 19, and I'll start at 17. It says, therefore, even with blindness, were these stricken, and those were at the doors of the righteous man, when being compassed about with horrible great darkness, every one sought the passage of his own doors. For the elements were changed in themselves by a kind of harmony, like as in a psaltery notes change the name of the tune, and yet are always sound, which may well be perceived by the sight of the things that have been done.
But the point was where it said what? The changing of elements. That's what it said, right?
It said, for the elements were changed
Yeah.
in themselves by a kind of harmony,
Yeah,
like
vibrations and things like that. Because that's what elements all about, man. All right. As a matter of fact, jumping real quick into 2 Peter 3, all right, where it tells you, what is that, the 12th verse, where it tells you that all the elements are going to be resetted with the fire, with the nuclear missiles.
Oh yeah, 2 Peter
3 and I think it's like 12 or something. All right, I'm gonna read this. This is Wisdom of Solomon 7 and 17. For he has given me certain knowledge of the things that are, namely to know how the world was made and the operation of the elements. You see? So that shows you that elements exist and that we have a certain knowledge on how to operate with them. The problem with us is that we're not to the best of our potential right now, because the Lord has stripped that away from us. All right? He has made Esau greater than us right now, basically. All right? Not that he is, but he has more power over us at this moment by controlling everything in his hand. All right? By having periodic tables. All right? And again, look, they use the elements, but they use them in the ungodly way to destroy our people, when we're going to be using it for actual healing. All right? To actually create a certain light or something if we needed it. Okay? Well, go ahead.
All right, this is 2 Peter 3 and 10. But the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night, in which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise.
That great noise being the nuclear missiles.
Right. And the elements shall melt with fervent heat.
You see, the elements shall melt with fervent heat. Going back to the way it was in the beginning in Genesis 1, when the earth was without void. All right, it was just straight darkness, because the elements were scattered everywhere. None of the elements were actually in order until the Lord started to speak things into existence. And then what? Then everything started to take form of where it needed to go. Then it took its order. Okay, we ended up getting the sun. We ended up getting the moon. All right, that's all through the elements that the Lord has in this earth, man.
Elements were brought together to create
exactly,
light and all
to create light, to create a cloud, to create air. You see, it's all created through an actual element, man. All right, go ahead.
It says, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat, and the earth also, and the works that are therein shall be burnt up.
That's the point right there. All right, let's grab an account. Let's grab Samson. All right, because this is going to show you that Samson has spiritual power, man. How else was he able to one of them is going to be they're different, like they're scattered different, but we don't have to go into that one. I'll bring it out right now. But one of them was he ended up fighting a lion.
Oh yeah.
All right, how was Samson able to fight an actual lion, bro? You had to have some type of spiritual power, some type of spiritual strength. He actually grabbed the lion and opened his mouth and broke his whole entire mouth, man. Broke his jaw. You ain't gonna see nobody do that shit today's day. You see people run when they see a lion.
Right.
You understand? The only type of person you'll see running around with a damn lion is the little circus guy. You know what I'm saying? Trying to make the lion do tricks. But then his ass is mad when the lion ends up eating his ass. Like, bro, you messing with a whole lion. Okay, you messing with the Lord's animals. But Samson had the strength to be able to what? To break a lion's mouth. All right. Let me grab this real quick. You found it?
Yeah.
Oh, you got it? Which one? For the lion?
The jawbone. The ass.
Oh, you can bring that one out too. Yeah, go ahead, bring that out.
All right, so it says, Judges 15. I start at 13. Y'all start at no, I start at 12. It says, and they said unto him, we are come down to bind thee, that we may.
Yeah, because who was that at the time? It was the Philistines? No, it was the Philistines. Yeah, the Philistines came to bind, all right, Samson, all right, but Samson ended up grabbing a jawbone of a donkey, all right. He grabbed the jawbone of a donkey, and he's about to bring it out. What happened? All right,
it says, and they said unto him, we are come down, and not only that, man, he broke out of thick ass ropes, man. They bound him with thick ass ropes, cords, and all that. And he was able to break out all of that, man. All right, it says, and they said unto him, we are come down to bind thee, that we may deliver thee into the hand of the Philistines. And Samson said unto them, swear unto me that ye will not fall upon me yourselves. And they spake unto him, saying, no, but we will bind thee fast and deliver thee into their hand, but surely we will not kill thee. And they bound him with 2 new cords and brought him up from the rock.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, they didn't want to kill him, man, because what do they want to do with servants that are like that? They want to put them in slavery and have them to themselves. Esau will bind them up and use them. He'll use our people, you know what I'm saying, to try to go out there and do some dirt for him, any of that. So they didn't want to kill him. They just wanted to bind him up. But eventually they came to the point where they wanted to kill him because they realized the strength he had, man.
Yeah, I think if I remember, it was our people that wanted to bind him up and bring him to the Philistines. All right. So it says, and when he came unto Lehi, the Philistines shouted against him, and the Spirit of the Lord came mightily upon him.
See, the Spirit of the Lord came mightily upon him. All right. So this is the Lord giving him spiritual power at the moment. All right. It's coming from on high. Go ahead.
And the cords that were upon his arm became as flax that was burnt with fire.
Yeah, it just melted off of him.
And his bands loose from off his hands. And he found a new jawbone of an ass and put forth his hand and took it and slew 1,000 men therewith.
How does a man, one man, slay 1,000 men? Niggas can't even fight one person nowadays.
Right.
You understand? They get tired fighting one person. You're talking about 1,000 men he fought. With one jawbone, he done broke all their jaws. That's crazy right there, man. That just shows you that the Lord deals with his men with spiritual power to show his power, man. Because it's not like he just woke up and had the spiritual power. No, it came from on high, man. All right. Grab the other one when they. Oh, you want to keep reading it? Go ahead.
It says, and he found a new jawbone of an ass and put forth his hand and took it and slew 1,000 men therewith. And Samson said, with the jawbone of an ass, heaps upon heaps. With the jaw of an ass have I slain 1,000 men.
With the jawbone of a donkey. That's what an ass is, a donkey. All right. Go ahead. Go to the one where he brought down the pillars.
Oh, that's at the end, basically.
Yeah, basically at the end. All right. Which that's another account, because what ended up happening, he ended up meeting a whole whore, all right, a woman, all right, showing you that a woman will always take away your strength in this truth, man, and always make you fall out the truth. Okay. That is just something about man when it deals with the woman. Naturally, man is going to do what he's supposed to do. All right. And then naturally, women is going to do what they're supposed to do. Mislead your ass and make you all about themselves. All right. So what ended up happening? He ended up messing with Delilah, whatever her name is. I always call it Delilah or Delia. But he ended up what? He ended up giving him wine. All right, made him drunk. And what happens when men get drunk, man? If you let a woman get you drunk, man, a woman will seduce your ass to your ass. Forget about that. What your true purpose is. All right, she'll take away your strength. She'll take away your energy.
They plucked his eyes out.
Yeah, they plucked his whole eyes out.
So what do you think he was going to do when
they literally plucked his eyes out, man? He had no eyes, man. All right, you got it. Start start like from, ooh, what is that?
That's an airplane.
Bro, I don't know, bro. That's low. Yo, that's crazy. That look crazy, right?
I did.
Yeah, that look crazy. I think it is a plane, but it didn't look like a plane when it was first coming. All right, go ahead.
All right, so it says Judges 16 and I start at 20. Yeah, because she kept begging him, how do you have this much strength? And he kept lying to her and saying that
Where you at? What verse?
Judges 16 and 20.
Probably better if you read up more, because
Nah, I did go up.
All right, you trying to get like when the story starts to come into it. All right, good. All right, yeah, because like the brother's saying, she kept begging Sansa to tell him the secret of why he had so much strength. All right, which it was his hair, but at the end of the day, it really wasn't even his hair. It was because he had YAHAWAH'S, man. He had the true names of the Lord, so he was able to. When you have the name of the Lord, man, great things can happen. Okay, but when it came down to him and his hair, you know, it was a certain thing, because you being a Nazarite, you have to take you have to take a Nazarite vow. You're not allowed to cut your hair. You're not supposed to be drinking no wine. Okay,
that's why the Lord was with him, because he kept that vow, man. He took that Nazarite vow, and then the Lord was with him, man.
Which we gonna settle right now. Samson did not have no dreadlocks, man.
Yeah.
All right, because that's one of the bug out things that people try to tell, that he had dreadlocks. Dreadlocks is a heathen custom, man. Are people not supposed to have dirty ass dreadlocks, man?
Dreadlocks is dirty, man. That's a dirt trap.
Exactly. You're supposed to have plates, it says. All right, which goes into something. It will look like a French braid. All right, all right. You can have corn rolls and things like that. All right, as long as they don't get too long, because long hair to a man is an abomination. But the only man that was able to grow it decently long was the Nazarites, because they couldn't cut their hair under the vow. All right, but they still didn't have long ass hair like these niggas today have, man. That shit is effeminate. That's an abomination. Okay, the woman's hair is the glory of a woman. All right, so she's supposed to have long hair, but a man's supposed to have no hair on his head, man. All right, go ahead.
It says, I start at verse 20, Judges 16 and 20. It says, and she said, the Philistines be upon thee, Samson. And he awoke out of his sleep and said, I will go out as at other times before and shake myself. And he wist not that the Lord was departed from him. But the Philistines took him and put out his eyes and brought him down to Gaza and bound him with fetters of brass.
Now, see, I wanted up more.
Okay.
Because up more is going to tell you what Delia did to him. She got him drunk. She kept asking, I want to go to.
That's basically at the top, then.
Yeah. That's why I said go to the top. Yeah. Might as well get the whole story out. You know what I'm saying?
All right. So it says, then Samson went to Gaza, and Gaza's where the Philistines at. That's where like Ashdod and Ekron and Ekron is at, on the edge at the border of the Mediterranean Sea. All right, so it says, then went.
Gaza is also where you have all these damn Egyptian pyramids and all that shit, correct?
Nah, that's talking about.
Oh, you talking about? All right, I got you. Go ahead.
You talking about Giza?
Giza. All right, yes.
All right. Then went Samson to Gaza and saw there an harlot, and went in unto her, and it was told to the Gazites, saying, Samson is come hither, and they compassed him and laid wait for him all night in the gate of the city, and were quiet all night, saying, in the morning, when it is day, we shall kill him. And Samson lay till midnight, and arose at midnight, and took the doors of the gate of the city and the two posts, and went away with them bar and all, and put them upon his shoulders, and carried them up to the top of the hill that is before Hebron. All right, that's that power, yo.
That's right.
All right, and it came to pass afterward that he loved a woman in the valley of Sorek, whose name was Delilah. All right.
Wow.
And the lords of the Philistines came up unto her and said unto her, entice him and see wherein his great strength lieth, and by what, and by.
So they wanted to know what was his great strength.
Yeah.
This is why they used Delilah, man. They had Delilah go over there and seduce him, all right, to get the answer out of him.
It's always a woman that takes your strength away.
Always, bro. That's the doom of prophets right there, man. It's a woman. All right, go ahead.
And see wherein his great strength lieth, and by what means we may prevail against him, that we may bind him to afflict him, and we will give thee every one of us 1,100 pieces of silver.
You see? And you got a whole bunch of sellouts that's going to put that in these last days, man. A lot of people going to take bags just to try to play out the prophets and, you know, pinpoint where the prophets are located and all that, man. Just for a money bag. Go ahead.
All right.
It's a lot of Judas Iscariots, man. All right. Don't be that Judas Iscariot that you give up the Lord. You're turning away from this word as being a Judas Iscariot.
Yeah.
Because you're turning down the Lord and you pretty much selling the Lord off for the shit of this wicked ass place. Go ahead.
It says, and Delilah said to Samson, tell me, I pray thee, wherein thy great strength lieth, and wherewith thou mightest be bound to afflict thee. And Samson said unto her, if they bind me with 7 green whips that were never dried, then shall I be weak and be as another man. Then the lords of the Philistines brought up to her 7 green whips, which had not been dried, and she bound him with them. Now there were men lying in wait, abiding with her in the chamber, and she said unto him, the Philistines be upon thee, Samson. And he brake the whips as a thread of tow is broken. And as a thread of tow is broken when it touches the fire.
Yeah, nothing. That shit just came right.
So his
right off, boy.
So his strength was not known. Yeah, he was so powerful that they didn't understand how strong it was. Something that they never seen before.
The straps didn't even know what happened. His straps like, damn.
It said, and Delilah said unto Samson, behold, thou hast mocked me and told me lies. Pray thee wherewith thou mightest be bound.
Here she go again. Doing what they do best. These girls just keep on going. They don't know when to shut up. They don't know when to stop. Now she starts to seduce them, right? Now she starts. Not yet. Not yet. Oh, go ahead.
So, yeah. It says, and he said unto her, if they bind me fast with new ropes that never were occupied, then shall I be weak and be as another man. Delilah therefore took new ropes and bound him therewith, and said unto him, the Philistines be upon thee, Samson. And there were liars in wait abiding in the chamber, and he brake them off of his arm like as thread. Like a thread.
That's the second time, right? See, here goes that 3 again. Understand it, because I think it's the 3rd time. I think so. Yeah. Go ahead.
And Delilah said unto Samson, hitherto thou hast mocked me and told me lies. Tell me wherewith thou mightest be bound. And he said unto her, if thou weavest the 7 locks of my head with the web. And she fastened it with pins with the pin, and said unto him, the Philistines be upon thee, Samson. And he awaked out of his sleep and went away with the pin of the beam and with the web. And she said unto him, how canst thou say I love thee when thy heart is not with me? Thou hast mocked me.
That's how women really be, bro.
You the one that's trying to
play. They'll be like, oh, you don't love me if you don't do this. That's how she coming at it. And that's actually not the 3rd time. I mean, that's the third time. So the 4th time was when it happened. So that's even more spiritual, because that shows mercy. Because the Lord showed mercy to him at the end.
Right.
4 represents mercy. All right, but go ahead.
It says, and she said unto him, how can thou say I love thee when thy heart is not with me? Thou hast mocked me these 3 times, and hast not told me wherein thy great strength lies. And it came to pass, when she pressed him daily with her words, and urged him, so that his soul was vexed unto death, that he told her all his heart, and said unto her,
this is why you can't stick around women long enough, bro.
And you can't tell women everything.
Yeah, yes, it's facts. Brothers always go into that. Learn, because some things they just not meant to handle it the right way, man. All right, but go ahead.
It says that he told her all his heart, and said unto her, there has
That's
not.
when he gave up Salakia, brother. That's when he gave up his strength to his woman. And that tells you that in Proverbs 31 and 3. Give not thy strength unto a woman. He gave up all his strength by revealing everything onto her, man. All right, go ahead.
That he told her all his heart, and said unto her, there has not come a razor upon my head, for I have been a Nazarite unto the Most High from my mother's womb. If I be shaven, then my strength will go from me, and I shall become weak and be like any other man.
And again, the strength didn't come from his hair, it came from Yahweh. But why was the strength taken away? Because he broke a vow. You see, it was a vow that was made between him and Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, man. But he went against that vow. All right. As a matter of fact, let me grab that real quick.
Well, that's why you're not supposed to tell women everything, because when he told her that, she cut off his hair, man.
This is Ecclesiasticus. I want to say the 23rd chapter. It's in. Give me 1 second. I see it. This is Ecclesiasticus 23, and yeah. All right. 23:18. It says, a man that breaketh wedlock, saying thus in his heart, who seeth me, I am compassed about with darkness. The walls cover me, and nobody seeth me. And what need I to fear? The Most High Yahweh will not remember my sins. Such a man only feareth the eyes of men, and knoweth not that the eyes of the Lord are 10,000 times brighter than the sun. Beholding all the ways of men, and considering the most secret parts, he knew all things ever they were created. So also after they were perfected. See how it says it, perfected. It's like it's like a weird way of saying it. Perfected is probably what they wanted to say. He looked upon them all. All right, but then it says, this man shall be punished in the streets of the city, and where he suspected not, he shall be taken. Thus shall it go also with the wife that leaveth her husband, and bringeth an heir by another, which we know that's talking about a woman. But let's look at it on a spiritual point, man. You breaking wedlock, breaking that vow, made us what? That harlot that the Lord called us. Right, and then we ended up being pushed away from the Lord, and he divorced us, spiritually speaking. Okay? So what happens is that it says that thus shall it go also with the wife, because we are the wife of the Lord, man. All right? That leaveth the husband, which we left our power. Okay? And it says, and bringeth in an heir by another. Yeah, you start believing in all these other gods other than Yahushua, man. All right? For first she has disobeyed the law of the Most High. All right? Yeah, because you're not supposed to worship any other gods. Secondly, you have trespassed against her own husband. Yeah, so if a woman's out there doing her wickedness, man, she's trespassing against her own husband. Just like us going on to these other gods, we're trespassing against our husband, which is spiritually speaking, the Lord. All right, because he looks at us as a delicate and comely woman. Okay, and then it says, and thirdly, she has played the whole whore in adultery and brought children by another man. All right, but the point is that she has played the whore. Okay, that's exactly what happened to us. All right, so going back to what happened with him was he ended up falling being taken away from his power because he broke that wedlock, that vow that he had as a Nazarite, man. He wasn't supposed to cut his hair. He wasn't supposed to be sipping no wine or none of that, man. And that ended up happening. But go ahead.
It says, and when Delilah saw that he had told her all his heart, she sent and called for the lords of the Philistines, saying, come up this once, for he has showed me all his heart. Then the lords of the Philistines came up unto her and brought money in their hand. And she made him sleep upon her knees, and she called for a man and she caused him to shave off the 7 locks of his head, and she began to afflict him, and his strength went from him. And he said, the Philistines be upon thee, Samson. And he awoke out of his sleep and said, I will go out as at other times before and shake myself. And he wist not that the Lord was departed from him.
Yeah, you see? So he went with the mentality thinking shit was all right. what we just read, that he did, that the man that break a wedlock and think that the Lord don't see it, man. The Lord watching everything, man.
He was sleeping.
And he was sleeping, exactly. He was sleeping. So she, and that why was she sleeping? Because she got his ass seduced, man. Put his ass to sleep. All right. And then while he was sleeping, got his head, his locks cut off. All right, go ahead.
It says, but the Philistines took him and put out his eyes and brought him down to Gaza and bound him with fetters of brass. And he did grind in the prison house. Howbeit the hair of his head began to grow again after he was shaven. Then
so he was thrown in a prison cell, right? And while he was in there, his hair started to grow back. Go ahead.
Then the lords of the Philistines gathered themselves together for to offer a great sacrifice unto Dagon, their god, to rejoice. For they said, our God has delivered Samson, our enemy, into our hand. And when the people saw him, they praised their God, for they said, our God has delivered into our hands our enemy and the destroyer of our country, which slew many of us.
Yeah, which it was really YAHAWAH'S that delivered him onto his enemy. Because what is the Lord saying, Baruch? Every time we go off and we do something that we're not supposed to, he deliver us to the hands of our enemies. You see? So the Lord put him in the hands of his enemies, man, because he broke vows, man. Go ahead.
And it came to pass when their hearts were merry, that they said, call for Samson that he may make us sport. Yeah, so they could mock him and make fun of him and all that stuff. They could just laugh at him. All right.
And that's exactly what they did. It was straight laughing. Yo, it's crazy because this is a video I was putting together, and that was a clip I had of an old movie, and they showed that in the movie how when they had him tied up, it was just throwing shit at him, playing with him, playing all types of games with him. You see, and mocking him like the brother brought out. Go ahead.
And they called for Samson out of the prison house, and he made them sport, and they set him between the pillars. And Samson said unto the lad that held him by the hand, suffer me that I may feel the pillars whereupon the house standeth, that I may lean upon them. Now the house was full of men and women, and all the lords of the Philistines were there. And there were upon the roof about 3,000 men and women that beheld while Samson made sport.
Yeah, there was so many people there because they made him a sport. It was a big thing that they had just caught Samson. So you can imagine how many people were there, people from all over in there. All right.
They knew that Samson had great power and strength, man. So when they finally captured him, it was like this big thing, man.
That's right. Because they wanted to see what was going to happen next, basically. Go ahead.
And Samson called unto the Lord and said, oh, Lord.
See, here goes the power of prayer, man. All right. This is how powerful our power is, man. The Lord, YAHAWAH'S, man. So Samson started to call on the name of the Lord. Go ahead.
Oh, Lord God, remember me. I pray thee and strengthen me. I pray thee, only this once, O power, that I may be at once avenged of the Philistines for my 2 eyes. Yeah, he wanted to get them back, man. They plucked his eyes out, man. All right. And Samson took hold of the 2 pillars upon which the house stood, and on which it was borne up, of the one with his right hand, and of the other with his left. And Samson said, let me die with the Philistines. And he bowed himself with all his might.
Exactly. So he's put in the between the 2 pillars that's holding up the whole entire building, the main room, basically. All right, where everything is going on. And he's praying to the Lord to give him back strength. He's begging, supplication. All right. He's feeling sorry for the things that he did, man. All right. And what happened?
And he bowed himself with all his might, and the house fell upon the lords and upon all the people that were therein. So the dead which he slew at his death were more than they which he slew in his life.
But in that place alone, he killed more people than he ever did in his life. Now, you can't tell me that's not spiritual power, man. How are you going to stay? I want to see one. I want to see one of our people just go right now to one of these houses right there and try to knock that shit down. And that's not even close to what he was in. You see, he was in a whole palace full of a bunch of Philistines and all that.
Thousands of men, man.
Thousands. Yeah, he said there was over 3,000 people in there.
Yeah, it said.
So imagine how big that whole room was, man. For him to knock down the 2 pillars and make everything collapse on top of everybody that was there, man, and everybody died, man. All right, even Samson himself died.
Yeah, it said those 2 pillars were holding up the whole temple. So that was the main. So imagine, all right, because those 2 pillars are stuck between the foundation and the roof. So to be able to move those pillars,
yeah, that's crazy.
That's how, bro. That's spiritual power, man.
Exactly. All right, because that's what's having the Holy Spirit. That's one of the benefits of it. All right, spiritual powers. All right, us bringing out this word, we're healing people spiritually, man. That's a spiritual power within itself, man. Us being able to understand the Bible and bring it out in its right context, all right, is spiritual power because it's all of the Holy Spirit. Grab the one with King David. All right, we're gonna bring out another account showing you spiritual power.
Which one?
With King David and Goliath.
Oh yeah.
All right, because Goliath was a whole fucking 9-10 foot, probably even bigger than that. All right, because back in those ancient times, our stature was even higher. All right, but you talking about a 10, 11 foot, 12 foot man, and King David was little as hell compared to him. And what did he knock him down with? He knocked him down with the sling of a rock, which that rock had the power of YAHAWAH'S in it, man.
The spirit of the Lord was in that.
Yeah,
rock.
that whole little ass rock had the spirit of the Lord in it. Why? Because the Lord was dealing with him on a high level, man. And whatever we meditate upon, whatever we ask for in prayer, the Lord's gonna give us our heart's desires as long as we moving righteously. You're not gonna get none if you're moving wickedly, all right? But he ended up giving King David spiritual power, man. Matter of fact, King David even said, "What? I ran through a troop. He jumped over a whole high wall. He said he made his feet like hinds feet. You know what I'm saying? Which is he was jumping like deers jumping over walls and all that.
Yeah.
That's why the men of the Lord ain't fearing what's about to. We fear Yahweh, but we're not gonna fear what's about to become upon the earth. What's gonna come upon the earth in destruction, man? Because if we do the work of the Lord, man, he gonna protect us in that time. We gonna see miracles done right in front of our face. Us ourselves might think we're not gonna be able to make it through something. Next thing you know, you got out of it and you just sitting there praising the Lord like, yo, that had to be of the Lord. All right, you got it?
Yeah, I just don't, because this story is long.
Yeah, it is long. Get to the main part.
All right,
where it goes basically
Salakia, brothers and sisters. We got Esau that just threw us off the live. I had to jump on it from my other phone. And it was crazy. And I know it was Satan too, because my whole phone is charging right now and it just died with the charger on it. All right, but go ahead. Continue reading that.
All right. So
yeah, get to the point where it just basically starts saying that they start to meet up in the field and all that.
All right. So that's a lot to the. It's right here. It's when he hit him with the stone.
All right, so start up a little bit. Let's start at 40. Let's start at 40.
All right. 1 Samuel 17 and 40, and he took his staff in his hand and chose him 5 smooth stones.
All right, this is when King David, all right, is which King David was he was a man of the he was a herder.
He kept the herd, the sheep.
The sheep, that's what it was. Yep, the
All
sheep. Right. All right, so he ended up grabbing. Nobody wanted to go against Goliath
because he was just
too brolic. Ain't nobody had a chance with him. All right, but here was a small guy, because Goliath was like over 11 foot, something like that. Yeah. All right, and you had King David that was little as hell, man. All right, so go ahead.
And that's why the Lord said he chosen the small to confound the wise.
Let's bring that out real quick.
You know what I'm saying?
You got hold on. You got your Bible on you? Yeah. Let me use that real quick. Oh, matter of fact, I got this right here. I got this. This is 1 Corinthians 1. I get it from the NLT. All right.
You sure you don't want mine?
You can bring it up if you want. Let me see if I can find it, because I'm not used to taking it out from the NLT. In 1 second. This is 1 Corinthians 1 and there we go. Yeah, I see it. Yeah, so this is 1 and 26 in 1 Corinthians. It says, "For ye see your calling, brethren, how that not many wise after the flesh, not many mighty, not many noble are called. But Yahweh has chosen the foolish things of the world to confound the wise, and Yahweh has chosen the weak things of the world to confound the things which are mighty. Woo-hoo. And base things of the world and things which are despised has Yahweh chosen, and has chosen, what does that say? Yeah, and things which are not, to bring to naught the things that are." All right. So the Lord deals with the lowly, the meek, the ones you least expected. All right. He even said that he's dealing with the ones that are despised, because what do the scriptures say? That we're gonna be hated by all men for his name's sake. For his name's sake, exactly. All right. So here's the Lord showing you how he takes something that was weak, all right, and used it to bring down the mighty. Go ahead.
The Lord likes to do that, man, to show his power, man. All right. Because the Lord is a jealous power. He wants the world to know that he's that dude, man. That he's that guy that created all this shit, man.
That's right.
All right. So it says, and he took his staff in his hand and chose him 5 smooth stones out of the brook, and put them in a shepherd's bag, which he had even in a scrip, and his sling was in his hand, and he drew near to the Philistine. And the Philistine came on and drew near unto David, and the man that bare the shield went before him. And when the Philistines looked about and saw David, he disdained him, for he was but a youth and ruddy, and of a fair countenance. Yeah, so he was like a pretty boy.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, and ruddy means
young, like tender.
Nah, but I think it also goes back into being dark skinned. I think if I remember correct, I could be off if not Salaki on that, but I believe that ruddy went into being like an earthly color of brownish. You know what I'm saying? But go ahead.
Yeah, because the apostles went into it, because ruddy because he was young, he was tender, he was tender.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? That's what it meant. It didn't, because a lot of people think the word ruddy means like a reddish color or something like that. But when you go into the Bible dictionary, it has the word ruddy there, and it says in contrast of what the Israelites looked like, something like that.
Okay.
All right. So it says,
maybe that's what I'm thinking. Go ahead.
So it says, where was I at?
You said he was ruddy.
Okay, yeah, it says, and his sling was in his hand, and he drew near to the Philistine, and the Philistine came on and drew near unto David, and the man that bare the shield went before him.
And it's funny, Salaki, brother, you had that King David came out with a sling, a little slingshot, 5 rocks. Then you had Goliath that came with a whole shield, sword, armor, big as hell.
Helmet.
Hell, yeah, go ahead.
And when the Philistines looked about and saw David, he disdained him, for he was but a youth. See it, because he was young. He was tender. He was just a kid, man.
Goliath was laughing at him, man.
And ruddy and of fair countenance. All right. And the Philistines said unto David, am I a dog that thou comest to me with staves? And the Philistines cursed David by his God. All right. And the Philistines said unto David, come to me, and I will give thy flesh unto the fowls of the air and to the beasts of the field. Then said David to the Philistines, thou comest to me with a sword and with a spear and with a shield, but I come to thee in the name of the Lord of hosts.
You see, that's why we tell people, you got people in this society that's all about their guns and knives and their weapons, and they think that when the time comes that they're gonna be able to protect themselves with their guns and their weapons. Nah, man, that's the blessing of Esau. The so-called white man was given that blessing, the fatness of the earth, and to have the sword, man. All right, to bring destruction and death upon the earth. Our people not meant to have that type of blessing in their hand. Okay, but read that again real quick.
It says, then David said to the Philistine, thou comest to me with a sword and with a spear and with a shield, but I come to thee in the name of Yahweh.
The Lord, man, in the name of Yahweh. That's all he needed. All right, he didn't need nothing else but the name of the Lord. That's why we tell people, all these guns and all these weapons that y'all be trying to, hold on to. The Lord said that our weapons of warfare are not carnal, man. It's all spiritual, man. Everything we do, we break it down. All the strongholds that our people have, we break it down through the spirit, man. That's how you cleanse yourself. All right. As a matter of fact, let me grab this real quick before I forget. You got your apocrypha real quick. Let me grab second. Hold that real quick. This is second, I want to say the 15th chapter.
You said second Ezra?
First Maccabees, the 15th chapter. And give me 1 second real quick. Go ahead, keep reading that while I find this.
All right, so it says, then David said to the Philistine, thou comest to me with a sword and with a spear and with a shield, but I come to thee in the name of the Lord of hosts, the most high of the armies of Israel, whom thou hast defied. This day will the Lord deliver me into my hand, and I will smite thee and take thy head from thee. Whoo! And I will give the carcasses of the host of the Philistines this day unto the fowls of the air and to the wild beasts of the earth, that all the earth may know that there is a God in Israel.
That's right. Yeah, that because it only goes to our people. This Bible is only for the Israelites, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, man. It's written by Israelites to the Israelites from the Israelites, man. That's it. All right. It's not to anybody else. Go ahead.
And all this assembly shall know that Yahweh saveth not with sword and spear, for the battle is Yahweh's, and he will give you into our hands. He was talking that.
You talking greasy.
right in front of his face.
Yep.
All right. And it came to pass when the Philistine arose and came and drew nigh to meet David, that David hastened and ran toward the army to meet the Philistine. And David put his hand in his bag and took thence a stone and slang it and smote the Philistine in his forehead, that the stone sunk in his forehead.
Yeah, that's how you know that was the spiritual power of the Lord.
Yeah.
The actual stone, he had a helmet on, and it went through and it sunk into his head, man. Like the brother said earlier, man, the spirit of the Lord was in that rock.
Yeah, because
that little rock was the Lord. Word, because it's the rock.
The stone.
Yo,
YAHAWAH'S is the stone.
Oh man,
He's
the cornerstone. Yeah, that's fire. Yeah, that's spiritual, boy.
And in Second Samuel, Daniel, the second chapter, he's that stone that's going to take down the
yeah.
That stone that took down the image, man.
Yep. That was at the Myers feet. Yep. Exactly. Go ahead. Matter of fact, let me jump into this real quick. All right. This is Second Maccabees 15, and I'll start from 7. It says, but Maccabeus had ever sure confidence that the Lord would help him. See, our people always related back to the Lord, man. Real quick, Ecclesiasticus 2 and 1, and it says 2 and I think it's 10. Look at the generations of old and see, did ever any trust in the Lord and was confounded? Or did any abide in his fear and was forsaken? Or whom did he ever despise that called upon him? For the Lord is full of compassion and mercy and long suffering, and very pitiful, and forgiveth sins and saveth in the time of afflictions.
Right.
All right. So going back to Second Maccabees 15 and 7, but Maccabeus, who ever sure confidence that but Maccabeus had ever sure confidence that the Lord would help him. Wherefore he exhorted his people not to fear the coming of the heathen against them, but to remember the help which in former times, that's why everything written aforetime is written for our learning, man. It said to remember the help which in former times they had received from heaven, and now to expect the victory and aid which should come unto them from the Almighty. And see, it's coming from the Lord. And so comforting them out of the law and the prophets, and withal putting them in the mind of the battles that they won afore, he made them more cheerful. And when he had stirred up their minds, he gave them their charge, showing them therewithal the falsehood of the heathen and the breach of oaths. Thus he armed every one of them, not so much with defense of shields or spears, but with the comfortable and good words. And besides that, he told them a dream worthy to be believed, as if it had been so indeed, which did not a little rejoice them. You see, so they're showing you that the Lord was always there, not with shields and spears, but because of the word, of having the name of the Lord, man. That's why Proverbs 10:18 tells you what? The name of the Lord is a strong tower, and the righteous man runneth into it and is safe, man. As long as you have the names, man, that's your protection right there. All right. Now, the problem is that don't have the names and you out there being wicked. All right. Because now you are profaning the name of the Lord. You're not sincere, man. Everything is done in vain, man.
It's funny to you.
Exactly. All right. But go ahead back to that.
All right. So it says 49, verse 49, and David put his hand in his bag and took thence a stone and slang it and smote the Philistine in his forehead, that the stone sunk in his forehead. Now that's spiritual power, man. All right, because how you sling a stone so hard it just sinks in your head.
Hey, going through the he had headgear, bro.
Yeah,
headgear and everything, man. Go ahead.
And he fell upon his face to the earth. So he just dropped, man. Imagine being slung with imagine a stone coming at you, a solid stone just being slung so hard to your head, it just sinks in your head. You definitely you dying on
That shit
spot.
hurt, yo.
That's contusion, man. That's what's that word? That's more, bro. You basically your head is cracking. And your whole shit is cracking, and then he fell on his face to the earth, man.
Yeah, what did he do after that?
I'm about to get it. It said, and he fell upon his face to the earth. So David prevailed over the Philistine with a sling and with a stone, and smote the Philistine and slew him. He killed him. All right. But there was no sword in the hand of David.
And what did he do after that? He ended up cutting his head off, bro.
Yep.
You see?
It says, therefore David ran and stood upon the Philistine and took his sword and drew it out of his sheath thereof and slew him and cut off his head therewith.
You see, that was righteous, right? He did what he did right there, because he didn't come with sword and shield in the beginning. He came in the spirit of the Lord. Once he took him down, the Lord put the more spirit on him to slice his head off, because his wicked ass. The Lord wasn't dealing with him. He wasn't dealing with the Philistines. You see? So right there, because somebody will come and be like, well, you see, he used the sword and he killed them. Nah, he came in the spirit of the Lord first. All right? It was just meant for him to die anyway, because he was a wicked ass king. He didn't need to be around. All he was doing was being a bully, basically, man. All right, but go ahead.
It says, and when the Philistines saw their champion, was dead, they fled. All right. And the men of Israel and of Judah arose and shouted and pursued the Philistines until thou come to the valley and to the gates of Ekron, and the wounded of the Philistine fell down by the way of Sharam, even unto Gath and unto Ekron.
Yeah, that's the point on that.
Yeah.
Grab real quick. Jeremiah 50. What is it? 50 or 51? I'll break with you. I will break in pieces the nations. I think it's Jeremiah 51.
It's somewhere in there. Yeah. All right.
Let me grab Wisdom of Solomon 5, and I'll start from the top. It says, then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness. All right. Who's the righteous man that is standing up in great boldness? The prophets. All right. Because the Lord asked, who will stand up against the workers of iniquity, man? All right. Who's going to be able to reveal the wicked? All right. So the Lord put men out there that was going to stand in great boldness before the face of such as have afflicted him, and made no account of his labors. When they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear, and shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation, so far beyond all that they look for. Which that's talking about us being beamed up into them chariots. All right, the strangeness of our salvation. When these people see us being beamed up into them so-called UFOs, they're gonna be scared as hell. They're gonna be crying. They're gonna wish they got put up there with us. All right, because that's gonna happen when the nuclear missiles are gonna be in midair. All right, for America to be destroyed. And then it says, and they repenting and groaning for anguish of the spirit, say within themselves, this was he whom we had sometimes in derision, in a proverb of reproach. We fools accounted his life madness, and his end to be without honor. And that's how these people that want to come up against the word are going to be. They're going to look at us and be like, damn, those two guys that we saw every day preaching the word, Lord willing, all right, preaching the word on the streets, they were numbered amongst the men of the Lord, because they look at us as a what? A skeptical, like the scriptures say. We will be a skeptical unto the people, man. So they looking at us with this look like, yo, who is all these people? All right. Then it says, we fools accounted his life madness, and his end to be without honor. How is he numbered among the children of Yahweh, and his lots among the saints? Therefore have we erred from the way of truth, and the light of righteousness has not shined onto us, and the sun of righteousness rose not up upon us. All right, let me just I'm gonna jump down, skip a couple. I'll jump down to 14. It says, for the hope of the ungodly. I'll start 13. Even so, we in a like manner, as soon as we were born, began to draw nigh to our end, and had no sign of virtue to show, but were consumed in our own wickedness. For the hope of the ungodly is like dust that is blown away with the wind, like a thin frost that is driven away with the storm, like as the smoke which is dispersed here and there with a tempest, and passeth away as the remembrance of a guest that tarrieth but a day. But the righteous live forevermore. This is the point right here. The righteous live forevermore, going into the elect. Their reward also is with the Lord Yahweh, and the care of them is with the Most High. All right, Salaki is let me read that again. But the righteous live forevermore. Their reward also is with Yahweh Shai, and the care of them is with the Most High Yahweh. Therefore shall they receive a glorious kingdom and a beautiful crown from the Lord's hand. For with his right hand shall he cover them, and his arm shall protect them. Here's the point. He shall take to him his jealousy for complete armor, and make the creature his weapon for the revenge of his enemies. All right. If you could bring, where's the scripture where it says that we are considered as a creature?
Oh, Mark.
Yeah, it's in Mark. Yep.
15.
Yeah, because the creature is representing us. All right, us, the people of Israel, man. All right, we are considered as creatures. All right, he even tells you that in Second Ezra's. What is it? The seventh chapter, when it was breaking down the days, and he said that he gave onto the creature, the dry land. All right,
Enoch.
that Enoch, exactly, Enoch, which is Hanak, going into learnt man. All right, and then Leviathan, he was given the water. Okay, but this right here, what the brother's about to bring, is showing you that the creature is representing us. All right, so the Lord said, he shall take to him his jealousy for complete armor, and make the creature his weapon for the revenge of his enemies, man. That's why it tells you in what is that, Ezekiel 25, that I will lay my hand upon Edom by the hand of Israel and Judah. All right, yeah, because he's going to put the spirit on us, man, to be able to put these devils into slavery. All right, to be able to do all types of crazy shit. Whatever they have done unto us is going to be done unto them double. All right, go ahead.
All right, this one in Mark, but I'm gonna grab this one. This is 2 Corinthians 5 and 17. It says, therefore, if any man be in Yahweh Shai, he is a new creature.
See, he's created, he is considered a new creature. So the creature right here, it says, he shall take to him his jealousy for complete armor, because the Lord is jealous power, man. So now he's going to use his people as his complete armor, right? And then it says, and make the creature his weapon for the revenge of his enemies. All right, and that goes into us basically going into these devil's rat holes. All right, like it tells you, what is that in Jeremiah also, where it talks about how the fisher is going to be turned into hunters. All right,
though they dig in hell,
exactly. I will pull them out of there. Yeah, because they're all these elites are hiding in their bunkers. They're hiding in outer space and space stations and water stations in the mountains. All right, but the Lord gonna give us spiritual power to take them right out of there. You talking about miles and miles under the earth? These damn devils are
13 stories, 14.
Exactly. How the hell we gonna be able to find them unless we have spiritual power, man?
As soon as we come down from the chariots,
exactly.
Have
that's why I was explaining it right here, that they're gonna be crowned. Because when we get beamed up into them chariots, that's what's gonna happen. There's gonna be a whole ceremony happening in the chariot. While America's being destroyed, man, we're gonna be getting crowned. And the moment we're done with the ceremony, we're coming right back down, like it tells you in when it tells you New Jerusalem in Revelations, the last 21st chapter. Yeah, it tells you that New Jerusalem shall come down, meaning that we're gonna come off of the chariots. Ooh. And as soon as we come out them chariots, we're gonna have new angelic bodies, man. All right, and that's how we're gonna be able to go grab these damn devils right out of their rat holes, right out of their bunkers. All right, we're gonna be able to see through the floor, basically. You ever seen Far Cry when he injects that one thing and he's able to see through the rocks, the animals, and everything, where everything is at? That's how we're gonna be, bro. We're gonna be able to see all that. Grab Jeremiah the 51 it was.
Yeah, I had it.
Yeah.
It was Jeremiah 51 and
It's like
it was 20.
yeah, around there, like 20 or something.
I got it though.
This is another precept showing you that we're gonna have spiritual power, man. Because how are we gonna be able to break nations in pieces, man? Go ahead.
It says, "Thou art my battle axe." All
That's
right.
right.
All right. So it says, Jeremiah 51 and I start at 19. The portion of Jacob is not like them. All right. We're different from all the other nations. We're greater than all the other nations. There's something special about us, man. It's because we are the Lord's chosen people, man.
Matter of fact,
All right. The portion of Jacob is not like them, man. Just like when we was reading in Judges, all right, about Samson, he said, "I am not like as other men." All right, because he was just powerful, man. All right, you got something?
Yeah, this is 7 and 6 in Deuteronomy. Trying to look for 6.
Oh yeah, they might have took it out.
Nah, it's because I'm in this NLT, so I don't know where it's at really.
Yeah, them NLT, some scriptures they took
out. All right. It says, "For you are a holy people who belong to the Lord your power. Of all the people on earth, the Lord your power has chosen you to be his own special treasure, man." All right. Meaning that what? We're going to be above all these other nations.
Right.
All right. Go ahead.
It says, the portion of Jacob is not like them, for he is the former of all things.
Yeah, because everything originates from us. Everything starts with us, but then all these other heathen nations, they copy us. They take our culture. They'll take our things. Even if we make like an invention here, what does the white man do? He'll come and be like, "Oh, can I buy you out?" Once he buys you out, he gonna patent that shit and make it his own. All right?
Give you no credit.
Give you no credit.
He'll tell you he invented it.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
For the former things is of Jacob, man, because the earth was created for our sakes. Go ahead.
And Israel is the rod of his inheritance, and the Lord of hosts is his name. Yahweh of hosts is his name.
Yeah, Lord of hosts means the Lord of armies, man. Showing you that the Lord is a man of war, like it tells you in Exodus 15 and 3, man. That the name of the Lord is a man of war. All right, go ahead.
It says, "Thou art my battle axe and weapons of war."
How do you explain that? He said, "You are my battle axe and my weapons of war,"
Talking
man.
about Israel, because we're going to gain that spiritual power. He's going to use us as his sword.
Exactly. Yo, and it's funny because people laugh when we tell them about this shit. How you think they were able to make these X-Men movies, all these superhero villain movies? They got that from the scriptures, man.
Right.
The real X-Men and all them villains you see with spiritual powers in the movie, that's us. They know that that's gonna happen. That's why they're creating all these super technology weapons and shit, outer space shit. Okay, because they're gonna need it against the men of the Lord, because they know they're gonna have spiritual power. But the Lord at the end of the day is gonna lift up that standard against them, and they're not gonna be able to do anything against the Lord, because it's not of us, it's of the Lord giving us that spiritual power, man. Go ahead.
It's like YAHAWAH'S, he said, "The works that you see me is not of me,
it's of my Father." Yeah, because I go on to my Father. Exactly. Yo, fire.
It says, "Thou art my battle axe and weapons of war, for with thee," meaning with the nation of Israel, the Israelites, the Lord is going to use the Israelites. All right, he said, "For with thee will I break in pieces the nations, and with thee will I destroy kingdoms."
How's we gonna do that? Because a kingdom is gonna be consisted of thousands of people running it. So you mean to tell me one person is gonna go over there and just take out all these thousands of people without spiritual power? No, it doesn't happen like that, man. All right, go ahead.
"And with thee will I break in pieces the horse and his rider, and with thee will I break in pieces the chariot and his rider."
Yeah, basically telling you everything that's power in this society is going to be brought down to naught, because horses represent power. All right, all of that. So all the power structures of this society is going to be brought down, man, by the men of the Lord, which we're doing right now through the word right now, speaking everything into existence. So that time comes that the fishers are going to be turned on to hunters, man. All right. As a matter of fact, grab that real quick. Fishers turned into hunters. All right. And then we'll end it with Psalms 91. All right. I believe it's in Jeremiah
I shall make many fishers hunters.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think that's
yeah.
what it says. It's how
Just
it
put
goes.
fishers to hunters.
Yeah,
Yeah. I think it's
shall
in
make
I
many
want to say it's
fishers
Jeremiah
hunters.
16. Yeah, Jeremiah 16 and what? 16?
It says, Jeremiah, 16:16. It says, behold, I will send for many fishers,
Yeah,
saith the
many
Lord.
fishers are the prophets that the Lord is sending out on the highways and hedges, because that's what we're doing. We're spiritually casting a spiritual net, trying to draw in the good fish, all right, that are representation of the elect, and then the bad fish get thrown back into the sea, thrown back into the world. All right, go ahead.
Behold, I will send for many fishers, saith the Lord, and they shall fish them, and after will I send for many hunters.
Yeah, because the fishers are going to fish for the elect. Once the elect is sealed, okay, now the Lord is going to make them hunters, man. All right, go ahead.
And they shall hunt them from every mountain and from every hill and out of the holes of the rocks.
Yeah, because they're going to be hiding in their bunkers, in their space stations, their water stations. But the Lord said He's going to give us spiritual power to take them out of there, man. You see? Go ahead, go back, go ahead.
For my eyes are upon all their ways. They are not hid from my face, neither is their iniquity hid from my eyes.
Why? Because the eyes of the Lord is upon the sinful kingdom, beholding the good and the evil, like the scripts say, right? Grab Psalms 91, Baba Kashar. Is that what I said?
You said Psalms.
Yeah. Psalms 91. I thought I had 2 on deck. But Psalms 91, where it says 1,000 shall fall.
Yeah.
All right, because that's also spiritually speaking, spiritual power, man. All right, go ahead.
It says, I'll start at 5. Psalms 91 and 5. Thou shalt not be afraid for the terror by night, nor for the arrow that flieth by day, nor for the pestilence.
Because that's talking about the nuclear missiles. Because this whole chapter is really going into the chariots, us being taken up by them chariots. All right, but the point that I want, he about to read it. Go ahead.
Well, she's talking about destruction, period.
Yeah, destruction and all that. Yeah, facts.
So it says, thou shalt not be afraid for the terror by night, nor for the arrow that flieth by day, nor for the pestilence that walketh in darkness, nor for the destruction that wasteth at noonday. 1,000 shall fall at thy side, and 10,000 at thy right hand.
Yeah.
But it shall not come nigh unto thee.
That's spiritual power. 1,000 gonna drop in front of you, man. 10,000 by your side, bro. There's another scripture that go like that, right? That I think it's in Joshua, where it says that I had made 10,000. Damn, I haven't gotten to it in a minute. It says I will make one man turn into 10,000. Oh, 10,000 take flight. That's what it is. Salakia, put 1,000 take flight. KJV. All right. I think I want to say it's in Joshua. Deuteronomy. Oh, there you go. You just passed it right there. Yeah, it's Deuteronomy.
So this is Deuteronomy 32 and 30. It says, how should one chase 1,000?
Yeah, how shall one man chase 1,000, man? It's supposed to be the opposite, right? It's supposed to be 1,000 men chasing one man, and that one man hauling ass. But how is one man gonna chase 1,000? All right, go ahead.
How should one chase 1,000 and 2 put 10,000 to flight?
Flight. 2 people gonna be able to put 10,000 men to flight, man. Throw your ass in the air if you want to. Throw a whole fireball at you, man. All right, that's why they have those telekinesis, you know, pyrokinesis, agrokinesis, you know. That's all going into like different types of pyro goes into like fire, you know what I'm saying? You being able to deal with fire. Agro goes into you dealing with like plants and things like that. All right. And it goes on, hydro goes into water. Brothers is gonna be able to do that, man. Play around with water, play around with fire, throw a car at your ass.
Pretty much we gonna Lord willing, we gonna be the Avatar.
Facts.
We gonna be able to bend all the elements, man.
That's right. That's a fire movie. It's not Avatar, it's the other one. Airbender.
But that's what I mean.
Yeah. The Airbender movie. That's a fire movie because it showed that's a representation of the Israelites. What was he doing in there, man? He was manipulating elements, playing with fire, playing with water. All right. It's not far-fetched, man. This is why you see it in the movies, man. It's called predictive programming. All right. These devils know exactly what's going to happen to our people, man, that are of the Lord. All right. So read that.
Hold on, I was getting into something else.
Yeah, you good.
All right. It says, read it again.
Yeah, one more time.
It says, Deuteronomy 32:30. How should one chase 8,000 and two put 10,000 a flight, except their rock had sold them and the Lord had shut them up?
Yeah, except their rock has what?
Had sold them, and the Lord had shut them up.
And the rock is who? Yahawah, man. Yahawah is that rock, that fortress, that protector, man. That shield, that buckler. All right. So the Lord is what's going to give us the spiritual power. It's not necessarily because we have it. No, it's given to us from on high, man. All right. And that's definitely not far-fetched because, hey, through the power of the Lord, man, you could do all things. That's Did he not say, grab that and we'll end it with that you can move a whole mountain if you have a grain of faith. All right. As a mustard seed, you should tell this mountain, remove ye yonder. All right. And it should be able to move because you have the faith that the Lord is with you. That's why we're going to be justified in faith in that last day, man. Go ahead.
This is Matthew 17 and 20. It says, and Yahawah said unto them, because of your unbelief. For verily I say unto you, if ye have faith as a grain of mustard seed.
How big is a mustard seed, yo? Mustard seed. That little, yo. Little is all you need is that much faith, man. That much faith could turn into a whole world of faith for you. All right. That's why you're gonna have 12 o'clock Israelites that wake up in that last time, at the last moment when they see brothers start doing spiritual powers and shit. People gonna be like, yo, that's gonna make them believe, man. That little bit of faith is gonna get them saved.
They have no other choice but to believe. How can you not believe after you see something
after wild? We done told you this shit and it's actually happening. That's right.
You know what I'm saying? It says, and Yahawah said unto them, because of your unbelief, for verily I say unto you, if ye have faith as a grain of mustard seed, ye shall say unto this mountain, remove hence to yonder place, and it shall remove, and nothing shall be impossible unto you.
Yeah, see, nothing is impossible, yo. And what the Lord said, without faith, it is impossible to please him. So if you don't have the faith, to you, it's going to be impossible. But to the brothers that believe, wholehearted, shit, we'll see you when we got it, Lord willing. You see?
Lord willing.
Throw a whole fireball right past you, and it might have your name written on it.
The nuclear missiles are going to have people's names on them. Y'all, a lot of y'all going to be missile food.
Yeah, a lot of missile food, boy. That's what most of, at the end of the day, you're not turning back to the Lord. You're going to be missile food, because if you die before the Lord come back, you're going to be raised up just to be missile food anyway. But hey, through the Spirit, we're going to end it on that one. All right, Lord willing that the lesson was edifying. So with that being said, that way. Barakatah Yahawah, Barakatah Yahawah Shai, Call Haloyim La, Yahawah, Bahashem Yahawah Shai, Bahashem Rakakodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule well. Blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect that scattered abroad. The Akim and the Akwat that was listening in. Yahawah Ratazah, Lord willing that the lesson was edifying. To the next one, Shalom. Keep fighting the good fight of faith and doing as a good soldier of Yahawah Shai. Shalom. Yahawah Bashem Yahawah Shai Barakatah.